All right, then. So now what we have to do is we have to start customizing the client area. So let's fix the header part. So what we have to do is, so before jumping into the header part, we have to break it into two different layouts. So let me open that design. So let me open the dribble.com and let me go jump into my profile, collections. Then here we go. If you have a wireframe of this design over here, you can see we're having two different layer containers, left container and right container. So let's go ahead and fix that part right now over here. So this open up your app.jsx and it's loading the layout. This is the client layout which we are loading. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this outlet is a place where we need to bring the content home, or the single page content, whatever the stuff which we need to bring it over there. So what I'm going to do is, it's better to design the layout first. So let's make the main, let's keep it as main. So for this main container, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this as a fix the width, height and screen. So it's not supposed to move left and right and top and bottom. So class name, it's going to be width, which going to take the screen width, whatever the screen width it is, it should take the screen width, and minimum height is also going to be screen. And of course the height is also going to be screen, and flex, it should take the complete length flex and make it as a flex item in the starting position, and justify it everything in the starting position. Save these changes and make the view as word wrap. And inside here, now what I need to do is, so we need to bring the users informations over here. So let's get the users, and we need to get the apps information. So const equals to use user. Let's get the user information, and we need the const equals to use apps. We need both of the apps and the users informations, right? So we have to get the data and keep it in the name as user, and here is loading, user loading is error, user error, refetch, user fetch. Okay, then use the same thing as over here, data, and keep it in the names as apps. Then we need to get the is loading, apps loading is error, apps error, refetch, apps refetch. Save the changes. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, if user loading or apps loading, if any of them is loading, then what I'm going to do, return main loader. All right, save the changes. So now if I refresh it, it's going to give that loader animation. If none of them are loading, it's going to keep the main container over here. All right, so here now what I need to do is, so I'm going to break this into two different layouts. One is the left section and another one is the right section. So the left section is going to bring the left container. So let's go ahead and create destructured client source, and inside the source, inside the containers, I'm going to create left container dot jsx and rafce, and over here right container dot jsx rafce, not jc, jsx, yes, rafce. Save the changes and save the changes over there, and here we have to export these two containers. Let's bring it, paste it, left container, copy it and paste it over here, copy it, paste it over here, save the changes, and let's bring the left container from the containers folder, and let's bring the the right section, the right container, right container from the container section. Save the changes. Now you can see we have the left and right container over there. So inside, let's go ahead and fix the left container first. All right. So let's go ahead and do the left container first. So this left container is going to use div. Okay. Class name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this, let's use these string literals because later we need to customize this divisions and everything. So I'm going to make this width as 80. So I'm going to fix this width at 80, and padding top and bottom is going to be Y. Position is going to be relative, and I'm going to say BG. I'm going to make this color as third color, and border right, I'm going to add the border right, and border right, it's going to be the third color, third, or we can use the secondary. Then height, of course, it's going to take the full height. So let me enable the word wrap so that we can see it clearly, completely. Okay. So then what we have to do is we have to arrange everything, right? So let's enable the duration. It's going to be 200, and flex column, and items, everything should be in the center, and justify, everything should be in the starting position, right? So you can see now we have this width position over here, and you can see in the right container it's automatically pushed. Now inside this division, what I have to do is so first I need to bring this absolute action button. So absolute action button, which going to extend and which going to push it back again, right? So if I click, so let me show you. If once the UI has been completed, you can understand what exactly I'm talking about. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a div, and let me make it as absolute position. The div needs to be absolute position, and I'm going to give it as a minus right 3. It's a rough calculation, so you just need to adjust it according to you. px1 and py4. All right, and the bg gradient to bottom right from bg from hero primary to hero secondary, and rounded medium, and cursor is going to be pointer, and we have to group all those properties. So you can see it's looking over there, something like that. And inside here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create okay, so let's bring an icon for chevron right. Say the changes. So now you have that chevron right icon over there. You can see, we can see that chevron right, and then class over here, it's going to be let's bring the string literals. So it should be text sm, all right, and text white initially, and the duration it's going to be 200. Save the changes. So now what I need to do is when I click this, this icon needs to change its rotation, and it's need to reduce the width. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an use state to monitor that use state, and let's give the use state is close, right? Initially it's going to be false, right? So what we can do is we can keep it as true. Initially, let's keep it as true itself, right? So here, all I'm going to do is this width particular part with this width. So let me cut it out. If dollar is close is true, then we have to keep the width as 20. Then we have to change the px3. If not, we have to width as 18. So save the changes. You can see this is how it looks. So on click, whenever I'm going to click this, so I'm going to change this state. So for this division, where it is, this is the division, this is place. On click, whenever I'm clicking it, I'm going to call a callback function, and set is closed as not is closed, something like this. Now if I click this, it will be expanded. If I click it again, it will be minimized. You can see that. So now we created ourselves a nice sliding left container. That's looking nice. Now this needs to change its rotation, right? So if not is closed, so we have to write a condition dollar if not is closed. If it is not is closed, then rotate rotate it to 540 degree or something. We have to rotate it to 540 degree. So 540 degree. Save the changes. You can see if I click this, it's rotated. If I click it again, it is rotated, right? So if you reduce the duration, you might see this rotating animation much more better. So now it's working perfectly as it's supposed to be. So now we finished the absolute thing. Next, we need to bring up this top section, this particular top section. So let's go ahead and bring the top section right now. All right. So